When I got it up to the mountain, it was, still early in the morning. But when I get there, I look down, I can see my school.
Oh, the school was on the other side of the island.
No, it was on another island. So I have to swim it across. But nowadays they talk about the great white shark. Back then it was the great gray shark.
Why was it a gray shark instead of a white shark?
Because the mom was white and the dad was black. Yeah. So when I swim it across, I got to the school and it was closed.
How come?
It was a Saturday.
A full buffet, all you can eat, bitch. But you want to mess around and cheat on me with some scraps? Scraps? Ew.
My name is Caleb Sean King Phillips. I'm 34. I am Māori, Moriori, Portuguese, Yugoslavian, Scots. I think it always starts from childhood, and I guess over time, life, things that happen in life adds to it. But I'd say when I was a teenager, where it probably started with struggling with who I wanted to be. And I say that because of how I was risen hard from my dad. So having to struggle with your identity, I guess. Because I had to do it his way. Yeah. I can say I know a few people who have experienced it. I say that because, they've taken their lives because of it. I know a few people who are going through it that I've been spending a lot of time with, helping them through it. And I do it because, I totally understand it. Because when I come out of it and learn, the meaning of depression, that's when I thought, man, it's a scary place. Being isolated mentally, separating yourself from people. The darkest moments started as a kid with my parents always arguing, a lot of stuff going on in the house between those two. And because of what's going on in my parents' relationship, that stuff has been put on you as a kid. I think darkness was always part of my life, starting from a kid and then a different stage as a teenager. And then as an adult, for myself, having to battle with what I wanted to do with my life or who I want to be as a man, because I'm struggling to try and just be me, being the joker that people know me to be. But in the presence of my dad, I have to be conservative, serious, hard. I guess it's not what he wanted me to do, but I know I had to behave a certain way. I don't think he intended me to be hard and cold like him. And I guess another dark moment was, I guess, with marriage or being in a relationship, the pressures of trying to be a man, a husband, a father, I guess trying to be a man, especially with your co-workers, and that mentality that we have of, you got to be harden up. There was a moment where I wanted to do something extreme to stop the voices in my head. And it could have been just different, I don't know, I guess people in my life that I wanted to please. I'd think about what they would think of me and what I'm doing, or the feelings that I'm experiencing, just wanting a voice, because I didn't know how to express these emotions, because no one does. Well, men especially don't know how to, because we're not taught that. We're not taught to express our anger or sadness or anything like that. We just have to keep going, just soldier on. But I know that I've had years of stuff just going on in my head, and I know that I was really hard on myself. I had to try and be somebody, try and fit in this world, cover up all these imperfections that I have of things in my character or what I'm doing. So you have the pressures of, trying to be a good husband, a good father, or a good man. I guess because you have all these all these problems and pressures, it was really dark. When I think about it, for me, it was just your head being pressed, where that was my reality, just what's going on in my head. Spent too much time in my head. I know that I've entertained all these feelings and stuff, because you don't know what to do with it. This becomes your world, what's ever going on is in your head. And then when you're in reality in this world, you go to work, you do all your normal life things, and then when I guess you use that as a distraction to get you away from those things going on in your head, until you have a moment on your own that it comes back telling you, you're not worthy enough, or you're not good enough, you need to do more of this, or you got this problem you need to sort out, And I was real hard on my kids. I guess there are times when when I come home, I'm in a good mood, but it's temporary. So yeah, most of the times I'm just always angry. I say that because that's what my daughter would say. It still blows her away that I'm not having to yell or have to, just being so hard on them. And then my wife, she was going through her depression as well. I kind of knew she was going through something because our relationship wasn't, I guess there was no connection because there's no communication. Not just her, it was me too, because I didn't know how to share that, I'm suffering with something and it's really getting to me and I feel like I'm going to explode. And I've had moments like that, especially one time where I was at my son's swimming lessons and I was still heated up about the night before. Just the pressures of everything going on and how I'm just hoping that each day something will change where it might get me out of this pit where all I heard in my mind at that swimming lessons was suicide, suicide, suicide. And it's scary. It seemed like it was someone right there just speaking to me. And I didn't want to take my life, but I know that it was in that moment where I wanted to get up and just scream, just let this out. But I didn't want to do that in front of people because I would be ashamed of it. But I know if I was out by my my vehicle, out on the road there, yeah, I would have jumped in front of a vehicle. Not because I wanted to take my life. It was just to stop that pressure, those voices. And it was after that I realized that, man, I totally understand why people do it. Because I used to think it was selfish and just terrible how people can take their lives. But that's because I didn't understand what they were going through. And I have a habit of doing that, judging people before knowing them. Sorry, I used to. But yeah, after that, I thought, man, now that I'm out of it, I want to be able to help people. Just try and help them to be more vocal about things. And, don't have to talk about how the sky is blue. Talk about the weather, the game. Like, man, we need to be more like women. I like to talk a lot. But it's good because it's not like they do it so that they can exchange answers. It's just to get it out. And we men don't do that. I didn't seek help because I didn't know what I was dealing with. I just thought that I just had to carry on with what I'm doing and just try and get through it. I wanted help, but, how do you address it? How do you... Because, for me, I didn't know that it was a serious issue. I had a couple of friends that questioned my thoughts when we'd talk, and that helped me. And one of them was to do with identity, who I wanted to be. And so I kind of focused on that because I knew I didn't like who I was, because I kept looking back on how I used to be, how I used to have a body or have these abilities, dancing and all that kind of stuff, playing sports. And I always talked about how I used to do this, used to do that. And one of them says, you always say you used to. What about now? And I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. And I knew that I had to accept that this is me and just got to work with it. Like, I have the tools to be able to shape how I want to be, all the knowledge that I've got to do what I want. Self-love was a big thing, I reckon, because I didn't like who I was. Because when people tell me that they love what I do, or they like me, or they love me, especially like my wife, if she was to tell me that, I'd cringe, because it's like, why? Because I don't think I'm lovable. So I had to work with that. And I know that, like, one of the exercises I would do for that is to speak to yourself. I tell myself every day, I love who I am. I accept that this is me. I'm a lovable person. I'll do that every day. It was hard at first because I didn't believe it. And then I'll challenge myself by talking to myself in the mirror. And that was hard too, because I had to accept that that's me. And I have to live with that. But yeah, you really do have to love who you are. Because if you don't, then who will? Because you're the only one stopping yourself from being loved from people. So humor got me through it. I guess because I'll just use me as an example with my life and how there was a lot of dark moments. You know what happiness looks like from other people, seeing what people do, what TV shows. So it's easy to mimic that to try and get you through all these dark times. And it was easy to act. And I guess humor is just normal for us polys to do. We like to joke around. So yeah, humor is what helped me through it. I think it's important to love yourself, to accept who you are, and not worry about what other people think, because that doesn't matter. Their opinions don't matter. Because if you can be happy with yourself and be comfortable with who you are, then that's enough to get you through life. Because you'll never be disappointed having to do things the way that people think you should do it. Be more vocal about how you're actually feeling. If you can, find a friend. Relationships. It's important because you don't want to live your life being isolated mentally and physically from people. It's lonely, and you'll end up making your own wrong decisions. Where it might take you down the wrong path. I guess have the time to express yourself, just letting it out. I guess it's hard to identify if someone is going through it But when I did the push-up challenge for that suicide prevention, I changed it because I didn't like how the focus was on the push-ups, because no one ever talked about the actual issue. So I did a message every day before doing the push-ups. And one of the questions that was given to me was, how do you identify that? It's a good question. The only way I could think of is that it's just being more, interact with people, show them that you're there with them, like we're all in the same boat, we're all trying to survive, but it shouldn't stop us from having any interaction with each other, asking them how are they, because I guess that's a good way of starting a relationship with that person, where that person is able to trust you with whatever they're struggling with, if you're the person that wants to help. Even putting yourself out there, because when you share about your struggles, then it'll help people out there to want to share theirs with you, knowing that they're not alone. So I guess that's important, because I'm not ashamed to do that, because that's not me. This is me now. But anything that I've experienced, whether good or bad, I want to share that with people, because we've all got something to share, something to offer. Let's try and be more of a family. We're all the same, just different colors, different shades. We're all one people, one race. That's all that matters.